Hey Colin, how's it going?
How you doing? Good.
Good. Hey, I know you guys are just two practices in, but what do you like about the offense? How are you feeling about things so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Coach DeBoer has a great offense. We've only gone through our first three installs, just first two today, and it's a great offense. Very similar to what I'm used to. It's a pro style offense. The quarterbacks can make some great reads. The O line is set up to make some good double team blocks. So it's a great scheme overall. It's a lot of fun to play in, and Coach Grimes brought over some good stuff. Plus, O-line techniques and everything. It all kind of fits in with Coach DeBoard. So it's been all good so far, and we're just ready to put some pads on.
How would you describe DeBoard's offense and his approach and kind of what he's looking for from you guys this spring?
Yeah, he's really focused on tempo, all around practice, in and out of plays, getting the signal and going. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed so far. Another big thing is communication, from the O-line to tight ends, receivers to each other, quarterbacks, running backs. Everything is, really important in that, kind of aspect. So communication and tempo has been the biggest, encouragement and focus so far in the first couple of days of practice.
Then, real quick, what was the message from Coach Jones today, just about maybe where you guys are at, two practices in, and where you need to be, where you're trying to get?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing is just keeping our energy up. It's early in the spring ball. It's easy to get going. Keep our energy up for, we have a little break this weekend. But next week we start up, put some shoulder pads on and get after a little bit. So keep our energy up, take care of our bodies, and just be smart this weekend. So we're looking forward to Easter too. So.
Hey, Scott Chasen, 247 Sports, go ahead.
Hey, Colin, how are you doing?
Doing good, Scott. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. Hey, wanted to ask you about just your transition coming here to Kansas. First of all, how has that been going? I know you're probably a little bit used to this area, but how has that transition been, and what's it like to be here in Lawrence?
Yeah, it's obviously different. I spent 3.5 years at Notre Dame before this, so making the change wasn't easy, but it was something that I was looking forward to, and the guys around here made it a lot easier. The O-line are all great guys. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, D-line, everyone's been accepting and great teammates so far. And then being in Lawrence is nothing new to me. My dad had a condo here when he coached here. So I was up here almost every weekend in the fall, and I used to go to KU basketball games on school nights too. So it's good to be back in Lawrence. I have a lot of friends from high school still here in their senior year, so it's good to see them again. And it's been a great transition so far, having a lot of fun and looking forward to keeping the spring going.
What's maybe something you can bring this team in terms of leadership, your own college experience, to a team that's maybe a little bit younger and growing?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is, like, when I was a freshman at Notre Dame, we were coming off a 4-8 season, one of the worst years in Notre Dame history, and the biggest change happens in the weight room. And with Coach Ben, I've been experiencing that a lot. Like, we're working out hard. When we were running hard. It's everything matters. Little thing matters. If it's 3 seconds, you hold it for 3 seconds. And then, down in the locker room, everyone's stressing to clean your lockers, clean up your mess. The little things matter. And I think that's what the coaches, from Coach Ben to Coach Jones to every coach, position coach wise, everyone's focused on the little things mattering. And that's the biggest thing that is going to help change this university around.
And then last thing for me, what was the final kind of selling point that made this the right fit for you?
Yeah, I'm doing my MBA right now, and my goal is to work in Kansas City after football. Mm-hmm. So obviously KU is a great choice. The Alumni Association and location in Kansas City is perfect. And then it's also a place where I feel I can help the team, help KU win. That's my only job. I don't care if it's starting or if it's a backup, if it's in the stands. My only job here is to help KU win.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go next to John Kirby with Rivals. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Colin, how you doing?
Hey, John. Good to hear you.
Good. Hey, listen, number one, I hope you're not taking any more tips and coaching from your dad.
No, he's been in Florida. He's flown down for the South for the winter, so he's been gone for now.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I was going to ask you, being at a program like Notre Dame, what have you learned there in a place like that you can bring here and maybe show guys?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I learned was kind of what I went back to earlier is, like, everything matters. The little things matter, whether it's going to dinner, checking in on time, it's just doing your job at all times, no matter what. That's kind of the biggest thing that I was taught from my freshman year at Notre Dame is just doing your job, whatever it means. If it's in the weight room, doing your workout, if it's on the field, making your block, at all times, like having no excuses, just doing what's required of you. And then no matter what, no matter how difficult, no matter if I'm trying to reach a 4-eye, I got to do it, no matter what. So I think it's a big thing that we've been trying to like focus on here. And it's just little things that are going to change this thing around. It's not just one major change. It's going to be every day, little things improving, each day. So.
Yeah. And then last question, Coach Grimes, he's new as you are. What is your early impressions of working with him?
Yeah, he's a good coach. He's fun to work with. He has a lot of guys that he coached that are in the NFL now. That he shows us every day. He's a good guy. He's a character. He keeps us engaged in the meetings. He has fun with it, and he really focuses on getting us better. Teaching us our specific job on a play, for example, and then kind of bring it to the whole broader offense and understanding what we do and in the grand scheme of things, which really helps out. Understanding the play and understanding what needs to get done.
Okay, we'll go to Matt Galloway with the Capital Journal. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Colin, I was just curious, what's the biggest thing you learned from your dad, both in football and outside of football?
With football, there's honestly too much to count. The first thing that I would say is I never snapped the football until my freshman year of high school, going into the summer, and I was told I had to play center my freshman year. So he taught me how to snap a football, which is the most basic, job of my position. So that's kind of like the biggest and most impactful thing. But after that, it's everything I know has just been, grown on going to college. And so that really helped out a lot. And then in life, it's just, relationships matter, doing the little things right. I've said it a lot, but I was taught that from a young age. And yeah, just like loving your family, enjoying time together. That's like the biggest things that I've learned from him.
Yeah. Last one for me. I know you weren't here for this, but last year was kind of a difficult year for the offensive line. What kind of mindset have you seen from the guys that are returning from last year, and just what kind of approach are you seeing from those guys that were a part of that group last year?
Yeah. I wasn't here, like you said, and it's a new unit, new coach, new offense, everything's new. So I think a lot of guys are trying to put that behind us. It's a new year, it's a new season, everything's new. We're going to learn from it. We understand that we can't give up sacks like we did. So that's the biggest thing is we're going to move forward with a new coach, new system, and we're going to play to the best of our ability, and we're going to give time for our quarterback. That's the biggest thing.
We'll go next to Gus Balo. Go ahead, Gus.
Hey, Colin, how are you?
Hey, Gus, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. Just wanted to ask about, what have you seen from Coach Jones, as the interim? He's obviously been, new to the role that he is now. What have you seen from him over the last couple of days that has been, key for you and, key for the team in terms of energy?
Yeah, he has unbelievable energy. From the first, we're warming up, he'll start us up, all the way to the last whistle of practice. He has energy the whole time. He's commanding guys. He's getting guys going. He's still on top of his wide receivers a lot, and he still gets after all of us on offense and defense. But he has incredible energy that, we kind of thrive off of. He says it all the time. It's a give and take. He'll give us energy. We got to reciprocate. So his energy has really been helpful. He's a very hands-on coach. He loves his players. And he's overall just one of the greatest coaches I've ever had, and it's been a very, short time with him. So.
Yeah, and then, one more question for me. What have the quarterbacks been like? You obviously touched on, they were making some nice reads. Have you seen anything, in particular from the quarterbacks or, from any of them in particular?
All the quarterbacks, they're playing well. Honestly, half the time I don't even look back there, and it doesn't really matter who's back there because they know they're going to make the right read and they're going to make the right play. That's the biggest thing for us is right now everything's a competition. There's no number one for anything, and the biggest thing is just everyone getting better one day at a time. But the quarterbacks, they look great today. They're fun to play with. They tell us, what to do. They're getting us going, so we're excited about that.
We have time for one more. We'll go to Benton Smith. Go ahead, Benton.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you, I think when you initially decided to transfer, you said you had 2 years of eligibility left. Is that what you're looking at right now?
Yeah, I currently have 2 years left. I redshirted my freshman year in 2017, and the COVID year last year. So I technically have 2 more years. Yes.
And then I just want to ask you a little bit about playing center. Obviously, you'll have seems like you'll have a bigger role here than you had at Notre Dame. How much more of an impact do you hope to have with your 2 years here than, compared to what you did at Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, my only job here is to help KU win, and I don't care if that's starting or if it's literally not even being there. If I can help KU win in some way, I'm going to do it. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we have a long spring season ahead of us. We're going to have a great spring game. Hopefully we get some fans there too. So that's, it's going to be a great season. Everyone's just working on getting better one day at a time. So for me, that's what I'm focusing on. I'm getting, just learning the offense more and more every day, understanding KU's defense, and just getting better one day at a time at everything I do.
Okay, thanks, everyone. We'll be right up with Nate Betts.
Thank you.